What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Collector of Stuff. Monty is here. I am alive. I am not completely well, but I'm getting there day by day. I wish to do two things right off the bat. Number one, um, give you guys thank you for those of you who have inquired about my disappearance from the channel and or my health issues. Many of you have done both, and so I thank you for that. I'll give you a little update as quick as I can. This is going to be a super long video, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But I want to thank you for your inquiries about the channel and my health. And then second of all, thank you for your patience and the fact that I haven't really produced a video. I've tried to throw out there a couple of videos that I had taken off and put back on for certain reasons. I won't delve into that, but like some of my DVD collection, reposting some of those. And I did make, obviously, right after I got out of the hospital, I was getting some inquiries, and I did post a short video update just letting you know what's going on. So I want to thank you for all that, for your patience and for your inquiring as to where I am and what's going on with the channel. So with all that being said, this will be a pretty lengthy video, largely because I'd like to take a few minutes and just talk to you about what I've been through for the last month. And then second of all, just because I've been laid up doesn't mean that I haven't been collecting. I got a ton of stuff, and I'm really kind of wondering, do I put it all in one video? Should I make this into parts to make it a little bit easier for for everybody? I'm going to, hang on a minute, I need to add a little more light. I just realized, look at there, look, there I am. I'm adding a little more light to the scene. How's that? Now you can see me. I forgot to put that light in the right place where I can be seen. Ta-da! Hopefully I look a little better than I did in my update a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, trying to decide if I make this, how long do I make this video and how much do I include, because we got stuff, a ton of stuff, and I still have more stuff on the way coming in. We've got tons of comic books that I've picked up, old and new. We have some trading cards. I've been doing a ton of trading card collecting, some sports cards and non-sports cards. So I've got a ton of those and some other sports pieces, sports-related pieces that I'd like to show some point, whether I do it in this video or another one. Oh my gosh, we've got Hot Wheels. I've probably done more Hot Wheels buying in the last couple of weeks online and so forth. I haven't been able to leave the house. Tons of Hot Wheels stuff. Some collector plates that I'd like to show, and then DVDs, movies, and TV shows that I've added to the collection. I probably will separate those into a different video because there's a ton of those. This could be an hour and a half long video if I allowed it to. So yeah, just trying to figure out what all to do. But before I do all that, let me just say, because some of you, what happened. A year ago, and I'll make this brief as I can. A year ago, December of 2013, I actually started having some issues at work. I was unable to walk long distances without running out of breath, started having chest pains, feeling like somebody was sitting on my chest at times. Blood pressure would shoot sky high through the roof, even though I was on 2 blood pressure medications at the time. Went through a series of ER trips and things like that. And so, the long story short there, well, let me back up. Summer of 2013, I actually was discovered to have had massive amounts of blood clots in my left leg. My leg had swelled up. They went and did ultrasound on that, and I ended up having blood clots. Literally, it was either one big one or a series of one. They never quite determined. Either way, it didn't matter. It ran from my left Achilles all the way up to my mid thigh. And so I began on blood thinners for that. That began to dissipate and disappear. And then by the end of 2013, started having all these symptoms going into January of 2014. And in February of 14, I did an arteriogram, and they discovered 3 blockages in my heart there, 2 of which were kind of minor, but the big one was about 75%. So I had a stent put in during that procedure. Began to feel better almost right away since that time, and stayed on blood thinners and all that good stuff. Now, in the next few months, really over the next couple of months following that procedure, a couple of other things happened. I started having major back problems, had an MRI done, and they discovered I had 2 bulging discs. My lumbars, L3 and L4, were out of place. So I began getting shots and treatment and all that stuff for my back, which was killing me at the same time. Also, I began to have some issues. I have a lifelong history, 30-year history of kidney stones since I was the age of 19. And I was having some issues, not necessarily stones, but they did some very invasive procedures with a urologist there, we'll just say that. And they discovered my left kidney was also full of kidney stones, but they were up there not doing any harm at this point in time. But I just went through this series of things. Bing, bang, bang. Health was going down mentally. I was depressed. I was just not feeling good and all that. But I got through the summer. I kind of took the summer and wanted to heal up both physically and mentally. And for the rest of the year, really started feeling better. Certainly, cardiac-wise, was feeling better. Now, fast forward to a month ago, I went through a couple of weeks where I was having some minor chest pains, just instantaneous, little sharp pains in my shoulders and in my chest. But mainly, I was back to having that feeling that I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was smothering, and I had a couple of episodes where I was just gasping for air, like sucking air through a straw. So finally, it got bad one Saturday afternoon, and my wife decided it was time to take me back to the emergency room. So I go in, and they discover through x-rays that the first thing they found was that one of my lungs was partially filled with fluid. So they decided to admit me to the hospital where my cardiologist was, and then we did another arteriogram, yada yada yada. This time they found, even though I'd been on the blood thinners and all that good stuff, major blockages in several places, but mostly the left artery, the main artery that pumps blood into the heart, and it was big enough and beyond what they could do there in the arteriogram, which was going to require open heart surgery. So, so it was a very scary thing to suddenly discover you got to have bypass surgery, and they ended up doing 4 bypasses on me. And so I'm very grateful to be alive. The healing process is long and slow. Surgeon said it'll probably be about 4 months before I actually feel better and able to get back to life again without a lot of pain. It can take 9 months to a year for your breastbone to heal back to normal. Basically, as one person put it to me, for those 4 or 5 hours that you're in surgery on bypass, for all intents and purposes, you're dead. Your brain is not dead, but they've stopped your heart, and the bypass machine is what's keeping you alive. But your heart is completely stopped while they're doing the surgery on it. And in order to get to that, they crack you open like a lobster, and then they're rewiring all of your main plumbing. And then not only is that being affected and traumatized, but everything that your body or that your heart pumps blood to as well is now being affected in new ways. So it's a slow process. It's been 3 weeks since I had the surgery. I'm still at home. I still have trouble getting up and down steps. I'm getting very winded when I walk very far, kind of thing. So that's where I am. Oh, and by the way, they put me on Lasix while I was in the hospital because I had a lot of fluid around my heart. That's where it was coming into the lungs and all that stuff. So they've been trying to get the fluid out, create some space for my heart to be able to beat more. So they put me on Lasix, which means if that's pumping fluids into you, and if you've never been on Lasix, it basically means you got to go take a wee about every 30 minutes. No joke. Your bladder fills up real fast. I'm not trying to be gross or too much information, but I tell you that to say that when they put me on the Lasix during about a 3-day period while I was on the Lasix, I shot out 3 kidney stones, pain-free. So it was kind of a 2-for-1, getting those things out. They just came out, and so that was fun and interesting to say the least. So 4 bypasses and 3 kidney stones later, here I am. So all right, that's the update on where I've been, what's been going on with me. If you have any questions and you want to ask anything about the procedure or stuff like that, I don't mind. If it's not too personal, you can ask questions down below and I'll be glad to try to answer them as best I can. But anyway, just wanted to share all that with you guys. All right, now let's get to why you actually watch this channel. We're 12 minutes into it, and like I said, this is going to be a long video. So what do I start with? Stuff that you guys are interested in. Let's start with the comic books, shall we? While I have been laid up, I was able to complete one series run that I was very excited to complete. Had been working on bit by bit. Actually had ordered some books, and the company or the seller sent me wrong books. So I was sort of delayed in getting completed this run. And the run that I am talking about is the Marvel Comics Star Trek series from 1980. Was an 18-issue run. And so in honor of Leonard Nimoy's passing, I wanted to complete this run, so I was able to do that. Let's take a look real fast at what this series looks like. I'll just fly through these real fast. There is issue number 1, issue number 2, and now when this series started out, the first 3 issues, that was 1, 2, and here is 3. You can see it says Star Trek The Motion Picture. The first 3 issues were basically a comic adaptation of the very first Star Trek movie that had just sort of come out. So sort of a comic adaptation of that. And from that point on, after the first 3 issues, they became original stories and so on and so forth. I actually have 2 copies of issue number 4. Here is 2 copies of issue number 5. I guess you can see that there. There we go. There's number 6. Number 7. Oh, please don't slide off. I can't bend over and pick you up. Bending is still a big problem. Number 8. I like the colors on that cover with Spock. Number 9. Number 10, 11, 12. Like I say, I was very happy to complete this run. Just 18 issues, so not a big deal. There's 13, 14, and I was able to do it relatively cheap as well. 15, 16, which is actually the last one that I was able to purchase to get to complete the series run. 17 and 18, which you can see says special last issue collector's item, blah blah blah. But the meeting of minds, there you go. So it was a good thing for me to be able to complete that. That's the 1980 Marvel Star Trek series. I don't remember if I shared with you, I also was able to complete the 1977 Marvel Tarzan series. I'm not going to pull those out again because I got to go back and try to remember if I shared those with you or not. But yeah, while we're dealing with older books, back issue stuff, let's see what else I was able to pull out, and then I'll show you some new stuff or talk about some new stuff. Yes, I was able to pick up a few giant size Marvel books, and I think I actually have another one or two that are on their way, but so far I've been able to pick up, I believe all these were from 1974. This is giant size Dracula number 2. Yeah, correct me if I am wrong on the year, but I'm almost positive I believe all of these were 1974. It's kind of amazing. You look at these, and most of these covers, of course, in that era, and especially these giant size for some reason, seem to have women in peril. Sorry, all my feminist friends, I didn't draw the cover. Werewolf, no, giant size werewolf number 5. Again, women in peril kind of thing. This one does not. This is giant size superheroes featuring Spider-Man number 1, but it also has Man-Wolf and Morbius on there. Can you see a theme here? I like vampires and werewolves. So yeah, picked up those 3 giant size. I know I have a Captain America giant size on the way, and I'm thinking I have maybe another one. I don't know. Also, I've been working on adding to the collection of the 1994 run through the 90s of Peter David's Aquaman. The Aquaman where he loses his hand for the hook and all that stuff. One of my favorite series. I absolutely loved that originally in the 90s, and I think I had the first 2.5 years of it originally in the collection, and now I've been kind of adding on from there. I think I had like up to 26 or 27, but been slowly piecing together more and more. Now I'm up to issue 40 with books that I have acquired in the last couple of weeks. Here's issue number 33 that I picked up. 34. There we go. Stop the glare. 35. 36. Like that cover very much. There's a couple of these covers that I really like. It's 36, 37, 38, 39, which is another cover that I really like just because the close-up of Aquaman's face with the fish kind of swimming around him, that's just a nice little nice touch there. And then number 40. So I picked up 33 through 40 recently, and we'll continue to add to the Aquaman run. Ow, that hurts. Yeah, bending is not a whole lot of fun. During that time that I was kind of laid up, I actually had a couple of weeks worth of books that came in, my pull list that would come in from Midtown, and then the week after or so, actually the first couple of weeks when I got back, I just didn't feel good, and I didn't feel like reading. I couldn't focus on reading or even feeling like it. But next thing I knew, I had a stack of pull list books that had gotten this big that I hadn't even read yet, and I'm still trying to plow my way through that stack. I've probably got 60% of them read. I have not read the last 5 issues of Batman Eternal, but thank God it's over with. I have not read the last issue, so I don't know how it ends yet. I have purposely stayed away from spoiler videos that some of you guys have done. I'm trying to get back and watch some videos too as well, which has been difficult. So I'm not going to go through and show you every book every time, because I've actually got, like I said, about 4 or 5 weeks now worth of stuff that I'm plowing through since I've shown you new books, and a lot of them are things that you guys read. But let me just give you some thoughts over a handful of them that I just pulled just to show you. Of course, Lady Killer, everybody loves. This is issue number 4. We've got one more issue to go. I'm going to miss this book, but I'm also very curious to see how it wraps up as well, because to me, there's still just a ton of unanswered questions that they haven't even dealt with. And again, we don't really quite understand how she got into this dual life and dual role and all of that good stuff. But hey, it's fun. It's a good read. The artwork's great. The story's been great. It's just, for a 5-issue series, man, they just didn't, I don't know, a lot of unanswered stuff to me on that one, but we'll see how they wrap up with the 5th and final issue. So happy to finally see issue number 1 of Jem and the Holograms. I was a little disappointed. They sent a note out saying basically that, unless you specifically ordered one of the more expensive variant covers, if you just got the regular, cover price thing, they weren't going to guarantee which cover you'd get. It would be a random kind of thing, and I ended up getting cover number C, and it's not the one that I necessarily wanted. I'm considering buying that boxed set that has all of the covers in one thing. I'm kind of deciding whether I want to pull the plug on that, and is it worth the bucks that you have to spend on that. But I was glad to see Jem and the Holograms number 1 come out anyway. Big fan of the 80s cartoon. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting take. It's couldn't quite tell if it was an 80s book or a current book. They certainly tried to make it a current book, but still some of the fashions and things look sort of 80s to me as well. Of course, the one thing that will not translate in a comic book is all the cheesy music that you got from the cartoon, which was intentionally written to be cheesy. It wasn't like they were trying to pass it off as quality music. But that's part of the appeal and part of the charm of the cartoon, and something that the comic book just will not be able to do as well. One book that is 2 issues in that I think is flying under the radar. I saw Sleepy Reader talk about this. Damien mentioned this book, but it's kind of flying under the radar, and that is IDW's Joe Frankenstein. This is issue number 2. This is a fun book so far. I just picked up issue number 1 on a whim, and now I've picked up number 2, and I've added it to the pull list. Very fun if you like vampires and Frankenstein. This sort of has turned the Frankenstein monster into a superhero / protector / mentor of this young boy named Joe, who we discover right away is he's been adopted, but the Frankenstein monster is here to show him that he's actually of the bloodline of the Frankenstein family, and that he has a legacy, and that he has with that a mission to fulfill, and it involves the destruction of vampire cults and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. It really is a good read. Another good one that I have been enjoying from Image is The Empty. It's a fun book. If you're not reading The Empty, What do we know so far? There is one community where they basically are living in the desert. There is a plant-like root, a vine that has kind of traveled, kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which has basically poisoned all plant life, poisoned waters. These people are dying and all of this. And there's one sort of a scout hunter for the village, for the community that has gone out, and they discover this hunter. She discovers a body that's floating, washed up on the shore, still alive. And basically, when she revives this person and makes friends with them, discovers they come from another community somewhere across the waters where they're not having those issues, where life is, fertile and green and all that good stuff. But this person has the ability to touch dead trees and dead vines and cause them to come to life and bear fruit and food and all of that stuff. So that's kind of what's going on. There are still a lot of unanswered questions going on. We're only on issue number 2. So the first village that I mentioned, the folks all have certain characteristics, such as long arms and extremely long arms, that kind of thing. The second village, the person who washed up on the shore, they all have like elongated necks, and they wear these gold big bracelet kind of things on their necks, and that is discussed and talked about, their differences in their body shapes and things like that. So check out The Empty. That's a fun book. It's another one that's kind of flying under the radar that I really like. Sad to see the last issue, number 5 of Star Trek Planet of the Apes. That was a fun ride. Wish it had lasted a little bit longer. Kind of disappointed in the way it wrapped up, but not too totally bad. It just seemed a little cheesy to me the way they wrapped it up, but it kind of felt like it was written. The ending was sort of written by a non-professional, almost childlike kind of thing. But still, where else are you going to get Star Trek and Planet of the Apes together in one book? That alone has been worth the ride, just to have a storyline that's going along that way. I am not reading Batgirl currently, but I did have to pick up issue number 40 because of the Prince Purple Rain tribute on the cover there. Thought that was fun. Another one flying under the radar, not a lot of people are talking about, from Dark Horse Comics. This is issue number 2 of 5, a miniseries. I think we're actually on 3. I just grabbed one just to show you, but that is Rat God, which is, it's turning into a nice little horror story based on some Native American folklore and monsters and that kind of thing. So, yeah, fun book. Not quite sure I like the artwork as a whole in there. It's different and takes a little bit of getting used to, but it all, the story so far almost feels like something that might have been on an X-Files episode or something like that. Another book I wanted to pull out is DC Comics He-Man, The Eternity War. We're up to issue number 4 on that. If you're not reading this and you are remotely a He-Man fan, you would really love this book. I'm loving it. The artwork is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It is He-Man for adults. Take out all of the. I'm a big fan of the 80s cartoon. Don't get me wrong, as it is, but this is. If you take out all the more kiddie parts of it and make it more adult-centered and more fantasy-centered, where there's even a worse villain that so far is kicking Skeletor's butt, this is the book for you, and it's really, really good. And if you are even a remote fan of He-Man, check this out from DC Comics, He-Man, The Eternity War. Of course, everybody's reading all the stuff. I've just begun getting all the Convergence books in. I haven't read any of them yet, so I don't know what the heck's going on with Convergence yet. I kind of feel it's going to be a heavy storyline, and I'm on a lot of pain meds and things, and when I get into those or on those heavy, I just sometimes don't feel good, and I don't feel like reading, and I can't comprehend what I'm reading and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of reading some of the lighter stuff now that I don't have to quite think so much about, and I got a feeling all this Convergent stuff because I've got several of the DC titles that I'm getting the Convergence books from, the storyline, as well as the actual Convergence books themselves. So, yeah, like I said, I've still got a huge stack of stuff from the pull list that I've got to go through several weeks worth of stuff. So, okay, now we're at half an hour, and that's just the comic books. Bear with me if you feel like you need to pause and take a break and watch this video in portions. Feel free to do so. It won't hurt my feelings. Like I said, I think I'm even going to keep the movie collection out of this and do a separate one because I've got tons of stuff. All right, now I have in years past on and off collected collector plates. And I actually have, and I've got them on the shelf here behind me, but I cannot pull all those out right now. I just don't have the energy to do that. But I actually have about 5 collector plates of the Beatles, some album covers, famous photos, etc., etc. And so there's a ton more of those in that series that I never got. I actually just got like the first 5 in that series and then stopped, and that was nearly 20 years ago. Delphi and Bradford Exchange made those. But I'm starting to kind of recollect some collector plates. I also have some sports related sports figures collector plates as well. And then I also had one of some kind of American folklore villages and stuff like that I know I had when we were living in Augusta, Georgia, and I've been back here in Tennessee for 15 years. And for the life of me, can't figure out where those went to. We're still trying to hunt through some closets and boxes if they never got unpacked after 15 years. But I don't remember losing them. I don't remember breaking them. I don't remember getting rid of them. And would like to try to find those because if I can, I want to try to repurchase some of those. But anyway, I picked up a couple of collector plates that I just wanted to share with you. One is continuing my Beatles collection of plates there. This one is the Beatles Live in Concert, is the title of it. First issue, the Beatles collection. And yeah, these were copyright 91. So they've been around quite a while. And then also not related to the Beatles series of plates. There was also a series of Elvis Presley related plates. And I'm not a huge Elvis fan. I'm more of a fan of early Elvis, like in the very beginning when he was, much more rough around the edges, so to speak. And his music reflected that in his first albums. But I did see this one and I couldn't pass it up. I just thought it was a beautiful plate and really wanted to pick this one up, and I haven't even fully opened it up. It's still wrapped there, but this one at the gates, Elvis Presley looking at a legend at the gates of Graceland with the pink Cadillac. Just thought that was kind of a cool plate. I like the pink Cadillac there, and I don't anticipate picking up any more of the Elvis plates. As I look through that series, none of the others really struck my fancy, but I really did like that one with pink Cadillac as well. So yeah, picked those 2 collector plates up. Yeah, so I don't think I have any more collector plates on the way, but I'm on the lookout, and we'll be trying to add more. I have the Beatles plates that I have include the Sgt. Pepper album cover, the Abbey Road album cover, the U.S. print Hey Jude album cover, and then it has the scene where they're recording "All You Need Is Love," if you remember that famous picture. And then when there's a plate where they're in the white tuxedos with the carnations from the Magical Mystery Tour filmed at the end. They're doing a little dance number in the white tuxes. I have a plate with that. Now I'm adding some more to those Beetle plates as well. Okay. My gosh, 35 minutes. Got a crap load more stuff I wanted to show you, and I don't even think I'm going to get to the trading cards. But I've been adding a lot of sports cards, a lot of non-sports cards. I've picked up the first 3 season sets of the X-Files. I've got those in a nice binder. I can show you the binder. Ow. But my gosh, a lot of sports cards as well. Been trying to add to those. But here's the binder with the X-Files sets, and I have just showing you. Yeah, that's the first season, first page. I've got all those in protective sheets and so forth and so on. Did want to show you one sports figure that I have picked up, and that is I did pick up the McFarlane Wayne Gretzky. Was always been a fan of Gretzky, and wanted to add that to my McFarlane collection as well. So there is the Gretzky figure. Now, let's talk about cars. Got a boatload of die-cast Hot Wheels kind of stuff. Several sets that I purchased, as well as some monster trucks. And I did pick this up. I know I've shown you in previous videos, and I won't go through all of that, but have shown you in previous videos. There was the Hot Wheels DC set from 2013. DC sort of heroes and villains, and one of the ones that was next to impossible, never found it on the pegs in my local area at all. In fact, never saw it in person at all. Was the Aquaman car. So I finally picked up the Aquaman car in that set. So I was glad to have those. Now I have those pinned on my wall. So I've got to make a space to figure out how I'm going to work Aquaman in there. I have Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, Green Lantern, Joker, and Mr. Freeze. There's still quite a few others I need to pick up to complete that, but yeah, I've never seen the Aquaman car, and to be honest, didn't even know it existed till I was looking online. So I was happy to pick that one up as well. Picked up a couple of monster trucks, Monster Jam trucks that I had been wanting to add to the collection. This is a brand new one, just called Dragon. Very cool casting. I do have quite a few monster trucks as well, and I don't think I've done any of those in a video, so someday I'll have to show you those. But that's a very cool casting that I like a lot, and was also, this one has been out for a little while, just never pulled the trigger, and I finally decided I wanted it in the collection, and that is, of course, everybody knows Shark Week TV program, and on the Animal Planet and all of that. Well, this is Shark Reek, W-R-E-A-K. Yeah. I like sharks and dinosaurs and dragons, so yeah, I wanted to finally get those castings into the collection as well. Now, three sets that I picked up as well. Let's go through these. First off, from 2014, Hot Wheels did a Star Trek. I'm just going to pull these out of the bag here in no particular order. This is the Captain Kirk car, which is the 49 Ford COE. turn it where you can see all sides of that as well. Let's see if I adjust this light at all. Does that help you see the castings? Yeah, that's a lot better, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So that's the Kirk car. Here is the Sulu car, which is the Midnight Otto, O-T-T-O. There's the card art. And there's the actual, you see the Enterprise there on the roof. Those are nice. Show you those real fast now that I've adjusted the lighting. There's the Shark Reek and the Dragon. There you go. You can see those a little bit better when the lighting is good. Here is the Lieutenant Uhura, which is the 88 Jeep Wagoneer. Again, when they're in the bubble, it's sometimes hard to get a clearer picture of what we're looking at. This is the Scotty car, which is the Custom 52 Chevy. Oh, there's the card art there. If you want to pause that and read the speech balloons of what's coming out of each character's mouth, I'm not going to take the time to do all that. This is the Dr. McCoy, which is the 38 Dodge Airflow. There's the card art. I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. There's the Dodge Airflow. Probably my least favorite of the actual castings as far as the car choice, but hey. And then last but not least in the series is the Spock 59 Chevy Delivery. There's the card art. And here is the Chevy Delivery car. So that is the Star Trek series, 6-car series. That is from 2014. They also just released an Easter 2015 series that I believe was a Walmart exclusive, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is 6-car series as well. Tarmac Attack. All the card art is the same on each of these castings. Tarmac Attack. But you can see there, Happy Easter, that it says. The Supernat, G-N-A-T. Sometimes when they do series like this, they just pick one casting for the card art instead of having the actual car that you're buying in card art as well. Not sure why they choose to do that. Diora 2. In some of these Easter castings, they choose to use very happy, springy Easter egg type colors for the castings. Probably my favorite is the Custom 69 Chevy pickup. Farm fresh eggs. Yeah, I would guess this is my favorite of this set as well. Front. My second favorite is probably the Amazoom. I like the coloring. I like the actual sporty casting. As you see, Easter 15 written on the sides. And the last one in this series is the Toyota RSC. Which is a nice one. It's okay. I think I like those previous two the best out of the series. So that's the 2015 Easter set from Hot Wheels. They sometimes do Easter sets and Christmas sets and 4th of July sets, that kind of thing. So try to pick those up when I can find them and when I can afford them. To buy them secondhand, sometimes online they double and triple the prices on these cars, so it becomes very hard. The last set that I wanted to show you is another new set from Hot Wheels based on the Fast and Furious movie series. Now this is an 8-card set, so I'll try to get these as quickly as possible. I have only seen the first Fast and Furious movie. It's not necessarily a series that I am particularly crazy about, which is amazing because I like cars, but I didn't care for the first one all that much, and I haven't bothered to see any of the others. However, I love these castings, and I'm assuming that each of these castings is featured in a different Fast and Furious film. I'm going to trust on that. This is the 94 Toyota Supra. See the card art there, and then here is the actual car. Again, I apologize, this is going to be a long video, but I told you it was going to be a long video. This is the Ford GT40. It's actually not a bad looking car. This is the Buick Grand National, probably one of the more popular castings in this series. All black, which kind of makes it hard to see in the blister pack without glare. Sorry about that. Can't get a good shot. The Subaru WRX ST. It's either ST1 or STI. I'm not quite sure. There's the card art. You can decide for yourself what the casting name is. One of my favorites in the series is the 69 Dodge Charger Daytona. There is the card art. Here is the casting. I like that. I like the color on that, and I like those Dodge Charger Daytona castings in general. Nissan 35 or 350Z. Sorry, the Nissan 350Z. There's the card art. You're a fan of the Fast and Furious films, you may want to pick these up, even if you're not a Hot Wheels collector. Yeah, that one's got such a dark coloring again, it's kind of hard to see. Another one of my favorites in this series is 72 Ford Gran Torino Sport. Oops. There's the card art. There's me throwing the car onto the tabletop in front of you. And last but not least is my favorite in this, and I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it. It's the 70 Dodge Charger RT, which is painted with a very flat black paint So it's a very flat paint, if you can tell. But it's just a sharp looking casting. Really like that. And I like that flat paint as well. They don't do a whole lot of flat painted Hot Wheels cars as well. Okay. Wow, 50 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up. It's been a while. I would like to show you some of the trading card sets. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that in, but I may try to do that. But stay tuned, because I'm also going to do a second video here. I may even get it out today if I can, with movies and TV shows and DVDs and so forth that I've picked up, because I have also acquired a nice big stack of movies and TV shows for the collection. So I want to make sure I get those out where you guys can see them. Again, thank you for all your inquiries. Thank you for your patience. I still probably am taking it easy, and will make videos more frequently now that I'm able to get back in the man cave here, but not as frequently as I was. I'll just do them as I feel like doing them. But I still have tons of stuff on the way and some stuff to show you. So yeah, more videos will be forthcoming. But anyway, I hope you guys had a blessed Easter. I was off my feet during that time as well. So oh, and you can congratulate me as well if you're still watching at the end of this video. During all this time of the surgery and the recuperation, I celebrated my 50th birthday. So I was able to spend it quietly at home with my wife and my kids, and some Baskin Robbins ice cream cake. Yum yum. So yes, turned 50 since I talked to you guys last. So yeah, glad to have made it to my 50th birthday. For a while there, wasn't sure if I was going to do that or not. So anyways, listen, you guys have a blessed, wonderful day, and until I see you next time, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, tell people about the channel if you haven't done so already. Give it a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing on here. Not every video is this long if you're new to the channel. I've just been out of commission for a month and trying to play catch up with a lot of stuff. So I promise you not every video is this long. But if you've made it all the way through, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.